Guys, what's going on? It's your boy Town. All right, man. So, as you guys can see, yesterday they had basically a little scrimmage scuffle thing, with Team Haney and Team Norman. I thought it was dope. At the end of the day, I think people jumping the gun because, like I say, this happens all the time. They gotta get people's interest in this fight. They gotta draw people's interest in this fight. So, it didn't get too out of hand. You saw a little situation with Brian Norman and Devin's bodyguard. Man, he was straight dressed like Debo, man. All I was waiting for him to say, "This my bike, punk," and that would have been it. But, nevertheless, you just saw something where Brian Norman Jr., he tried to flex a little bit on Deb. He, put his hand on his, and at the end of the day, you shouldn't be touching people. But, he was trying to mark him. He was trying to check his temperature, and Devin, did what he was supposed to do, and then the bodyguard stepped in and stuff. Then, of course, you got people in the comments saying stupid stuff, and how long, why y'all following the pattern of non-blacks, in particular these Hispanics, in particular these Mexicans that sit up here trying to put that label on black fighters when they just don't have the skill set to beat them, when they can't be a thinker in the ring, where they just rely on the fighter, hopefully staying in front of them. What's up with y'all black dudes, man? Being followers, man. For real, man. We supposed to think for ourselves, man. We shouldn't even be following the narrative. But I told you, I'm not kikiing with people that try to disrespect my people. You get mad all you want. You can say, "Tam, why you going there?" Because I have to, man. Like I said, man, I'm sick of y'all niggas, man. Y'all need to quit cooning, man. For real. Y'all need to quit cooning. Y'all need to quit, for real. I just gotta say this. Follow your own path, man. That's just real talk. Stop, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta excuse me. I'm driving. That's just real talk. But just form your own mind, man. Stop following a wave of foolishness, man. Oh, yeah. Certain group of people, they saying Devin a runner, but you want to sit up there and protagonate a narrative just so you can make yourself look good in front. Since when do we try to impress other people? Bro, especially, man, come on, man. Get out of here with that stuff. One bad outing, man, now all of a sudden didn't define Devin Haney's career. But when somebody that ain't black have a bad outing that's in boxing, it is what it is. It's just that one time. So y'all gonna continue to, once again, put that stigma on Devin Haney. Somebody gotta say it, man. Like I said, I get tired of y'all with that BS. But, nevertheless, it's fight. It's fight week. Actually, it's the eve of the fight. Or actually, they got some fights going down today. They got Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor, 3, excuse me. It's going to be the third time, which I believe if they finally give the nod to Amanda Serrano's, that set up a fourth fight. Then you got, this is an all-women's card. And they wanted to make history with that. Okay, fine. I'm looking forward to seeing that fight, but the thing is, I don't know how much of this I'm gonna be able to watch because, like I said, it's a 3-hour time difference, and I'm gonna be pretty much on my way home unless it'd take me an hour to get home because of the traffic. Unless I just go somewhere and park and then just watch the fight from my car or whatever, just streaming and whatnot. But that may be the route I have to go. But, I do want to see the Alicia Baumgardner fight. And then make sure I watch the main event because I do have an interest in this fight. Many people believe that Amanda Serrano should have got the nod in the second fight. The first fight, I think Katie Taylor won by a narrow margin. because I just think she closed out real strong the last like 4 rounds. I really think this particular series of fights between these two women, I think if they had 3-minute rounds, it would have been even more. That's just a thing they on a regular basis. And due to the fact that they don't want to do that on a regular basis, where women fight primarily 2 rounds. I mean, they have been fights where women have fought 3-minute rounds, but primarily they fight 2-minute rounds. And since they haven't regulated on a regular basis that women fight 3-minute rounds, that's why you always gonna have the disparity, the little question mark thing. But yeah, that's just something they need to consider. Maybe in championship fights, instead of fighting, especially for undisputed, instead of fighting, 10 2-minute rounds, maybe they could fight 10 3-minute rounds. And that should be efficient. I would be okay with that. But yeah, it's a lot of fights jumping off. You got Shakur Stevenson, who will be fighting tomorrow versus Williams Zepeda. And I gotta say this about Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, he a dude to me, and I like Shakur, but sometimes he just say stuff that he just shouldn't be saying. This new generation, this is what I'm saying about respecting their elders and all this kind of stuff. When he rubbed people the wrong way when he made his comments about Sugar Ray Robinson. Look at Sugar Ray Robinson's Wikipedia. Look at his box record. I think Sugar Ray Robinson in one calendar year had like something between 9 to 12 fights or something. I can't remember the exact number. Man, can you imagine back then having to fight like and these fighters now, they barely can fight 2 times a year. It's a miracle if you get them to fight 3. And keep in mind, they didn't have all this high-tech medicine and, the stuff that they have now where you can heal a lot faster and stuff like that. They didn't have that type of technology then. They hadn't evolved in medicine back then that they have now. So you have to understand that. I understand it. So I respect that even more. That you had dudes fight 9 times in one calendar year? That's just weird. The medicine and technology is far more advanced now than it was back then. And a dude hurt his thumb in boxing, he out for 6 months. So that make you like question him. You just like damn, okay. But yeah, I just wish Shakur would stop like saying stuff like that. He says stupid stuff, and then the thing is with Shakur, when you respond to him and say, hey Shakur, like, man, you should have said that, he gets mad, and then he calls you out your name and stuff, and he attacks you. It's like, well, Shakur, we got a right to respond to something that you said. You wasn't making no sense, young man. You can't diss Sugar Ray Robinson. And it doesn't matter whether Sugar Ray Robinson lost fights. Just saying. That's a man, like, that man for real. That man fought like between 9 and 12 times in one year. That's that's unheard of in this day and age. Like I said before. So I just wish Shakur would stop saying stupid shit like that. And then the thing is with Shakur, when he sees you, oh man, you said that about me in that video, man. Y'all don't know shit about, like, bro, we do know some shit about boxing. That's why most of us is there. Well, some of us don't. Some of us don't. you know, some of these dudes go there to bring attention to themselves. They there to like make it about them instead of covering the fighters. And I don't know what was up with one dude that I saw there. He had one of the worst fucked up haircuts that I ever seen in my life. He and he trying to talk about somebody, dude. You need to get a petition for the person that cut your hair like that. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know what was up with that. What was that in your hair, dude? Like for real. But anyway, you a lame anyway. You corny as hell. But yeah, they got a lot of fights this weekend. Now I heard the dude that tested positive for a banned substance is gonna be allowed to fight. At first but that was supposed to have been like a year ago or something. But I heard they gonna let him fight. So, shout out to David Morrell, because that would have been really tough to find a person, basically on a couple of days' notice. But at the end of the day, this seemed to be a serious problem in boxing, and I don't know why they ignoring this stuff. And now that you're seeing that all these fighters that's aligned with Eddie Reynoso then tested positive for PEDs, now all of a sudden, and the people that they, fighting that is not black like Devin Haney, they not attacking them for saying, hey, I got cheated and I'm gonna protest the victory and all this kind of stuff. See, they only did that to Devin because at the end of the day, the Mexicans wanted to have this victory over a black fighter so bad because they take that pride and country stuff. I mean, they take it to heart, and I feel like black people need to display more racial pride too, and stop like trying to do this thing. Well, I'll fight for everybody. Well, everybody don't support you, and a lot of people root against you. I'm just one of them dudes that's not afraid to say what a lot of other people say. At the end of the day, I still got my little bit of juice with some of these promotional companies, but it is what it is though. But I can't keep like biting my tongue. And I'm gonna keep calling these fake ass fans out, and I'm gonna keep telling these dudes, these Sambo, stop like following the wave, man. Stop like keying with these racist ass Hispanics to try to build up your platform, at the expense of letting them disrespect black people and black fighters. See, they know not to do that with me. That's why they don't even come on my channel no more. And they know that I'm gonna say something back. They know I'm gonna clap back, and they know I'm gonna clap back, and they know I'm gonna clap back real hard. But that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't put up with that crap. But as far as tomorrow's events go, man, I got Shakur, man. I got Shakur taking care of business, man. I got Shakur. I think he gonna get a stoppage. I think he gonna get a stoppage. But at the end of the day, I don't want Shakur Stevenson to fall into the same trap that Tim Bradley fell into when he fought Ruslan Provodnikov. I don't want him to fall into that trap. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't be touching nobody. I ain't letting nobody put their finger on my chest. So, they reacted accordingly. But you got some people going into full-fledged real transvent mode, the man with sensitivity and all this kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't understand the hatred that people got for Devin Haney. Just like I don't understand the hatred that people that they have for Angel Reese. It's just unfound. I know Angel Reese done said some stupid stuff before, but the hate she get is just mind-boggling. And the same thing with Devin Haney. You hate this man because Ryan Garcia cheated and he protested the victory. Which in most cases, if a fighter tests positive for PEDs, they rule the fight a no contest anyway. So they acting like that just started with Devin Haney. But it was just a narrative that they wanted to push. And like I said, the sad part about it was you had a lot of these niggas on here cooning it up, congregating with these racist ass Hispanics and shit, being okay with them disrespecting Devin Haney and black people. And then people putting these labels on Devin saying Devin want to be from the streets so bad. Devin don't never portray himself as trying to be from the streets. At the end of the day, he's just a fighter. And he's never portrayed that persona. So that's cap. Well, like I said, I know it's promotion to sell the fight, but like I said, don't take things too far, but people do need to keep their hands to themselves. So I'm excited about the fight. It's going to be a good fight. My real problem is with this fight is that this fight is not going to be in the States. Because this fight would have sold. This fight would have sold. It would have been. It would have did very well whether they would have had the fight in Atlanta or the Bay Area. The fight would have sold. And I like the fact that I'm seeing Devin Haney. He's starting to get. He's starting to look like the old Devin Haney. And quiet as kept, Devin was a little bit bothered by how people just turned on him. He was bothered by how a lot of the boxing media turned on him. Some of the so-called fans turned. And then the sad part about it was this is how fake, like I said, a lot of these so-called boxing fans is. Now, you saw all them people asking to take pictures with Devin Haney, and a lot of them wasn't black. They looked Hispanic. But these the same people that went online calling him a coward, which I'm trying to figure out how is he a coward, calling him this, calling him out his name. And that's what these people do. They talk shit about you on the internet, and then when they see you in person, then they want to do an interview with you or they want to take a picture. And then if Devin Haney would have said no, they would have said, oh, Devin Haney, he doesn't want to take pictures with the fans. He refuses to take pictures with, like, man. So, yeah, actually, ask to take a picture with you after they just said all this kind of stuff about you on the internet. Hey, can I take a picture? Can I take a picture? Hey, can you sign this for me? Like, man, these people just so disingenuous. One thing about me, man, I stand on my circle, man. I stand firm. If I don't mess with somebody, I don't mess with somebody. Unless I have a conversation with them behind the scenes and it get fixed, I don't do all that kind of stuff. But the press conference is today. I have somebody that's supposed to be going down there. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I will holler at you guys about this later on. But like I said before, my disappointment is a fight like this couldn't have got put in the States. It should be, but hey, it is what it is.